Hi everyone, welcome to the new episode of Peter's English podcast. Welcome everyone in my live episode. I'm streaming on a stream web and in the famous stream web website. And at first I want to introduce myself because there are a lot of people who doesn't know me. I'm Peter, I'm 43 years old, I'm from East Slovakia. My favorite hobby is learning English. I want to speak English fluently because English is my hobby. I want to have a lot of friends. I want to visit foreign countries. I want to live without language barriers. My biggest hobby is learning English. I like watching movies and series in English. I like listening to my favorite English podcasts and audiobooks in English, and I like doing podcasting. And first, I want to tell you about my journey. This is my journey about myself, how I'm learning English every day, and ChatGPT has helped me and prepared some good questions, and of course I want I want to change them, and I want to tell you about my way how I'm learning English, and we can start. The first question is, can you tell us about your language journey and what inspired you to start learning English? This is a very good question. I've been learning English since August 2022 because I discovered that English that English is a world language, and everyone and when I'll start to learn English, I can change my life, and I discovered that learning English is my hobby. At first, I was learning English grammar because I was thinking that I have to learn English grammar. I had bought English grammar book with audio CDs, and I was learning and I had been learning. And I had learned for half year or one half year. Yes, of course. The first half year I was learning English grammar, and yes, of course, it helped. It has helped me because English grammar for me was very interesting, and I learned a lot. But I didn't know a lot of English grammar, because then I started to listen to my favorite English podcast, and I started to watch movies and series in English with English subtitles, because it's the best way how to learn English. And then I started to watch movies and series in English without any subtitles, and I discovered that listening to my favorite English podcast and watching movies and series in English is the best way how to improve my listening skills in English. But it's only a one step because there are a lot of topics in English that you have in the learning English that you have to do, and thanks very good English teachers that have their own videos on YouTube. I've discovered that I have that learning English has a lot of topics, and you have to practice not only your listening but your speaking skills, English vocabulary, writing, and speaking, and the best way how to practice my speaking skills in English is recording myself, and I created my own Peter's English podcast because I want to practice my speaking skills in English, and I want to create my own community of adults that they are my friends, and we can practice and our English together, and we can record a new episode for my podcast. This was the first question, I think, and we can continue with the second question. What has been your biggest challenge in learning English, and how did you overcome it? Yes, of course, the biggest challenge was what? Yes, English vocabulary. Look at English vocabulary it's very important for me, and you have to regularly practice your English vocabulary because you can forget forgot it, and yes, of course, I discovered that the best way how to practice my English vocabulary is creating my own series, the Peter's English Vocabulary reality show, and we can continue with the next question. How do you stay motivated to keep learning English even when it gets tough? Yes, this is a very good question for me, because learning English is my hobby, and I want to live without and my motivation is that I want to live without any language barriers, and I want to be successful. And I want to be successful in my life, and in my personal life, and in my work life. But the biggest thing is that learning English is my hobby. Do you have any fun or creative method that you use to practice English? Yes, of course. The best method for me is the best method that I like is the English lessons with my English teacher. I like my English lessons with my English teacher. I have the best English teacher in the world. Hi. Hi, my English teacher. And I've learned on the internet that the best way how to practice your English is to hire your own English teacher. With them you can practice every week for 1 hour, because English teacher can be your English coach, and I really recommend you to hire your own English teacher. I like my English teacher a lot. I like English lessons with my English teacher because our English lessons are very interesting, educational, and every English lesson with my English teacher is full of humor and fun, and I like my English lessons with my English teacher a lot, and I have a lot of fun and humor, and I like my English lessons. What now? What role does your humor play in your English learning process? Can you? Yes, of course. The most funny situations I have with movies and series in English, with my English podcast for learners of English, and with my English teacher, because I like my English lessons. And what now? How has learning English lesson is my hobby. Learning English is my hobby because this question was how has learning English helped in your everyday life or personal projects? Learning English is my hobby and I don't care about it. We can continue. Can you share some of your favorite English learning moment that made you feel proud? Yes, of course. I'm very proud of myself that I've improved my listening skills in English and that I'm trying to practice my speaking skills in English, and that thanks to my Owen Peters English podcast, that I created my Owen Peters English podcast, and that I don't care about other people that who can be rude when I'm trying to learn English, because it's my own business and nobody can't care about my hobby. That and I want to tell you that I'm proud of my hobby, and that I've improved my English skills. What now? How do you balance learning English with having fun? And what advice would you? Okay. The best now I can tell you something about learning English. The most English learning English isn't about sitting in the boring classroom with other people. Learning English has to be fun, inspiring, and for you. For me, it's I'm listening to English podcasts that are interesting for me, and I like my English podcasts, and I can tell you in this episode again about my favorite English podcast. I like listening to three very good English podcasts. I like Luke's English podcast. Luke Thompson is an English teacher and stand-up comedian from London, from the UK. His podcast is very educational. Is for learners of English. It's free. Every episode has 1 hour, at least 1 hour, and there are at least 900 free English episodes in English. Luke's English podcast is about British English and about British culture. I really recommend it for you because it's very interesting, educational, fun, and full of humor. The next is All is English. It's about interview between native English speakers. It's about learning English. It's about American English, and the last is Speak English podcast now with Georgiana. Georgiana is very beautiful English teacher from the USA. She teaches American English, and her podcast is about American culture and about American English, and of course we can continue about English vocabulary. Practicing English vocabulary is very interesting, and you have to find some interesting method how to improve your English vocabulary. I created my own fairy tales in English, and I'm playing with my favorite Flash app, and every good English teacher recommends you to practice your speaking skills in English with yourself, and I'm doing because with an interesting way, because I created my own Peter's English podcast. Thanks to it, I want to practice my speaking skills in English, and I'm doing it. And what now? What else? Speaking, we have a lot of English ways that you have to learn, that is speaking. I was talking about speaking, about English. Yes, of course, about English vocabulary, reading, writing, and yes, of course, you can write your about yourself. You can write about your day in your diary, and you can read audiobooks you can listen to very good audiobook. There are a lot of very good websites that thanks to them you can listen audiobooks, or you can read ebooks, but I recommend you to listen to audiobooks. There are a lot of interesting audiobooks in English, and I can write you the best English sites for it, for audiobooks. And what now? Yes, of course. I think that I was talking about everything. The learning English has to be interesting for you, and everyone can learn English and be successful, but the learning English has to be interesting. Learning English isn't about talent, and it's about yourself, about you, and you have to do interesting things, and everyone can be successful. And what else in this topic? I think that's it. That's it. That's it. Yes, we can continue with the next topic, and in the live episode I want to show you how I'm learning English vocabulary, and I like learning English vocabulary with my Flash app, and we can start right now. I've added my English vocabulary from my English teacher to my library in my Flash app, and we can start right now with the newest group of English vocabulary, and we can start right now. Don't worry, you don't see anything from my flashcard because I don't know if I can show you, but okay, and we can start right now with the learning my English vocabulary. Go. Aha, I can see rozdělit sa s I don't know, to split up. Aha, to split up with. I wasn't right. The next is chodia spolu 6 mesiacov. I don't know. Aha, they be going out together for 6 months now. Vo veku. I don't know. The age of. I discovered that I have to regularly practice my English vocabulary, but okay, I'm doing it right now. Rozbaľovanie darčekov. I don't know. Unwrapping of presents. Koledy. Carols. I was right. Carols. Častý pár. A happy couple. I was right. Pohlavie in English is sex. A sex, of course. A sex with the article it is a sex, okay. Láska na prvý pohľad. The love at the first sight. A love at the first sight, I was right. Rozbaľovanie darčekov. Unwrapping of presents. 5-ročná dcera. A 5-year-old daughter. Chodia spolu 6 mesiacov. They've been going out together for 6 months now. Rozdeliť sa, to split up with. Vo veku at the age of. Príbeh lásky, love story. Story, I was right. Byť na lepšej forme, to be the best for. To be in prime, primárny primer. Prime. Rozdeliť sa, to split up with or to or to broke up with. To split up with, I was right. Chodia spolu 6 mesiacov, they've been going up together for 6 months. For 6 months, I was right. Vo veku at the age of, I was right. Rozbranie do Čeko, unwrapping presents. Unwrapping of present. 5-ročná dcera. I don't know. I 5-year-old daughter. OK. Znižil napätie. He reduced what? Aha, he reduced the tension. OK. Lato kopka. Gold digger. Gold digger. Gold digger was right. Milostný život. Love life. I have to tell you that this vocabulary is from the topics that I was learning with my English teacher, and I want to show you how interesting can be learning English, and how interesting can be how is learning English vocabulary interesting, and we can continue. Kľud, calm, dodávna hostina, a wedding reception. Získate bonus, to get a bonus, štenia papy, byť na lepšej forme, I don't know, to be in prime, aha, primárny, primer, prime, štenia papy, papy, podobná hostina, a wedding reception, I was right, získať bonus, to get a voucher, to get a bonus, I wasn't right, kľud je calm, milostný život, allow life. I was right. Rozbrávanie darčekov, unwrapping presents. Unwrapping of presents. 5-ročná dcera, a 5-old years daughter. A 5-year-old daughter. Nižšie napätie, he reduced to tense. The tension. Byť na lepšej forme, to be in prime. I was right, to be in prime. Získať bonus, to get a bonus. 5-ročná dcera, a 5-year-old daughter. Znižil napätie. He reduced the tension. Bláznil zamilovaný. Madly in love. Rozbranie darčekov. Unwrapping of present. Primárny, primár. Prime. Not primár. Primár je absolutely different Slovak. But OK. Štenia papy. Bláznil zamilovaný. Madly in love. I was right. Získať bonus. To get a bonus. I was right. Rozbranie darčekov. Unwrapping of presents. I was right. 5-ročná dcera, a 5-year-old daughter. I was right. Znižil napätie, he reduced the tension. I was right. Pas svadbu, to have a wedding. I was right. No manželia, newlyweds. I was right. Pať pomer, to have an love affair. To have an affair. I was right. Primárny prime. Preniesť to make speech. To make a speech, I was right. Dodať to deliver. I was right. Milostná aféra, a love affair. I was right. Pripíjať si to toast. Hľadomná fotografia. A wedding photograph. Nadviazať priateľstvo. To encounter a friendship. Neopätovná láska. Unrequited love. OK. Zrela staroba, ripe old age. OK. Vyzerá na svoj vek, I don't know. She looks her age. OK. V teenagerskom veku, I don't know. In their teens. Dostala som poukaz. I got a voucher. I was right. Nadviazať priateľstvo. To make friendship. To encounter a friendship or to make a friendship. OK. Neopätovná láska, to unrequited love. Unrequited love, OK. Sadobná fotografia, a wedding photograph. I was right. Boli vo mne veľmi milí, they were very good for me. Nice to me. Pripíjať si tu toast. I was right. Strela staroba. To ripe old age, OK. Platonický vzťah, a platonic relationship. I was right. Nadviazať priateľstvo. Aha, to encounter a friendship. Konala sa svadobná hostina. The wedding reception was held. Opätovná láska, unrequited love. Par a couple. Po 50 in their 50s. Vyzerá na svoj vek. She looks her age. OK, she looks her age. V tínedžerskom veku in their teenage. In their teens. Aha. Vesel priateľstvo to encounter a friendship. I was right. Opätovná láska, unrequited love. I was right. Par a couple. Was right. Po 50 in their 50s. I was right. Konala sa svadobná hostina. The wedding reception was held. I was right. Boli ku mne milí. They were very nice to me. I was right. Rastoroba a ripe old age. I was right. Vyzerá na svoj vek. She looks at her age. She looks her age. V tínedžerskom veku in their teens. I was right. Vyzerá na svoj vek. She looks her age. Zrelé ovocie, ripe fruit. Dostal som 40 eur navyše. I got 40 euros extra. Chce si zapojiť. To get involved. Silne sa na zem priťahujú. They strongly attract to each other. Som tired. I'm tired. Sleepy. Len dobrí priatelia. Just good friends. I was right. Dostal som 40 eur navyše. I got 40 euros extra. I was right. Vyzerá na svoj vek. She looks at her age. Opačné pohlavie, opposite sex. Yes, of course. Ovocie, ripe fruit. I was right. Verný, to be faithful. I was right. Ak chcete zapojiť to get involved. Byť verný, to be faithful. Full to. OK, to be faithful to. Silne sa nás priťahujú. They strongly attract to each other. Bedné dieťa. Naughty child is to break up with. Letná romantika, summer romance. Vydrží celé veky. It will last ages. Nežná, tender. Som ospalý. I'm sleepy. I was right. Vyzerá na svoj vek. She looks her age. I was right. Bedné dieťa, naughty child. Vydrží celé veky. It lasts ages. It will last ages, of course. Letná romantika, summer romance. Nežná in English is tender. Rozdiť sa, to split up with or to break up with. I was right. Ak chcete zapojiť to be involved, to get involved, byť verný, to be faithful. Full to. Nežná, tender. Ak chcete zapojiť to get involved, to get involved, to be faithful, to byť verný. Chcete zapojiť to get involved. To get involved, OK. I don't care. The first group of English vocabulary I finish right now. What now? Okay. I've been streaming for 28 minutes. That's okay. We can continue. Silné väzby, strong bonds. I was right. Náhodná známosť. I don't know. A casual acquaintance. OK. Krysa. Red. Right. Veverička, squirrel. Havran. I don't know. Raven. Uhlíkov. Labut, swan. Shark and kite. A kite. Formálny vzťah. A casual Speaking terms. Yes, of course. Náhodná známosť. A casual acquaintance. Kde sa medzi nimi zvrtli. Things have turned sour between them. Havaran a Raven. Široký okruh priateľov a wide circle of friends. Dostatok kilogramov, enough kilograms. Mať priateľské vzťahy, to have a strong friendship. To be on a friendly terms. OK. Široký okruh priateľov, the wide circle of friends. not a známosť and casual acquaintance. I was right. Havran. Raven. Letica medzi nimi zvrtli.
Malecko, bo już idę do kupelni.
I don't know. Things have turned sour between them. Formálny vzťah. Speaking terms. Vzťahy. Relations. I was right. Urobil som to zámerne. I did it on purpose. I was right. Ješko. A hedgehog. This is very good. Vocabulary. Very interesting. Hedgehog. Mať priateľské vzťahy. To be on friendly terms. Friendly terms. I was right. Veci sa medzi nimi zvrtli. Things have turned sour between them. Nadväzovanie priateľstiev. I don't know. To make friends. OK. Nadväzovať priateľstvo. I don't know. To stack up a friendship. Málo few. Vety sa medzi nimi zvrtli. I don't know. Aha, the things have turned sour between them. I was right. Nadväzovanie priateľstva je to encounter a friendship. To make friends. To stack up friendship. Nadväzovanie priateľstiev. To make friendship. To make friends. Aha, to stack up friendship. To stack up a friendship. Nadväzovanie priateľstiev. To make friends. The next group of English vocabulary I finished. What now? I can continue with the third pack because it's very interesting. Nevidel som to. I didn't see it. Couldn't see it. Nastajúca matka and expectant mother. Dead mother. Je to moje vlastné telo a krv. He is my own flesh and blood. I was right. Poslal to všetkým svojim priateľom a príbuzným. I told all my friends and relations. Moja najbližšia rodina. My immediate family. Nastajúca matka. An expectant mother. Máme to v rodine. It runs in the family. Je veľmi ťažké vychovať rodinu jedným príjmom. It's very hard to raise on family. Income, Založiť rodinu, to set up family. To raise a family. Teraz hlasujem za muža, ženu. I don't know. Na pronunciu man and wife. OK. Máme to rodine. It runs on family. In the family. Moja najbližšia rodina. My immediate family. Yet family. I was right. Povedal som to všetkým svojim priateľom a známym. I told all my friends and relations. I told it all my friends and relations. Vychovať, to raise up, to bring up. Je veľmi ťažké uchradiť jedným príjmom. It's very hard to bring up a family in one income. To raise a family on a single. It's very hard to raise a family on a single income. OK. Nastavujúca matka and expectant mother. I was right. Nevidel som to. I couldn't see it. Alright. To bring up a family. To raise a family. Teraz vyhlasujem za muža a ženu. I now pronounce you man and wife. I now pronounce man and wife. I was right. Máme tu rodinu in the family. In the family. Založiť rodinu, to bring up. No. To raise up a family. Raise up, To je mi ťažké rodinu rodiny príjmu. It's very hard to raise a family on a single income. Vychovať. To bring up. Musel všetky svojim priateľom príbuzným. I told all my friends and relations. Vyrastal som na farme. I was brought up on a farm. Veľká rodina, a large family. Moja najbližšia rodina, my closest family. Vyrastal som na farme. I brought up on a farm. Aha, it was brought up on a farm. Povedal som to všetkým svojim priateľom a príbuzným. I told all my friends and relations. Friends and relations. I was right. Vychovať. To raise up. To bring up. Veľmi ťažký hodinný príjmom. It's very hard to raise up a family on a single income. On a single income. Raise a family on a single income. Založiť rodinu, to raise a family. A family. Stále sa dvíhame, still we rise. Was right. Mohli by ste ma odviesť I don't know. Would you mind give me a lift? Aha. Radiers to advice. Všetko bolo zamrznuté. Everything was frozen. Išlo sa za mamou a otcom. I went to see my mom and dad. Jedináčik and only child. Príliš ochranárski rodičia. Overprotective parents. Je veľmi ťažké vychovať rodinný príjmom. It's very hard to raise on family in income. Vyrastal som na farme. Aha, I was brought on a farm. Brought up on a farm. Vychovať, to raise up. To bring up. It's very hard to raise up a family on a single income. To raise a family on a single income. Išiel som za mamou a otcom a went to see my mother and dad. See my mom and dad. Príliš ochranárske rodičia, overprotective parents. Protective parents. Všetko bolo zamrznuté. Everything was frozen or everything was icy. Frozen was right. Jedináčik and only child. OK. Mohli by ste ma odviesť. Would you mind give me a lift? I was right. Vyrastal som na farme. I was brought up on a farm. I was right. Vychovať, to raise up. Bring up. It's very ťažko rodinu jedným prípom. Aha, it's very hard to raise a family on a single income. To raise a family income. Vychovať, to bring up. Všetko bolo hľadovateľe. Everything was icy. Nemotorný je clumsy. Najbližší príbuzný next of kin. Vybrala som na váhe. I have put on a weight. Vzdelený príbuzný. Distant relation. Relative. Žena nad váhou. I don't know. A overweight woman. OK. Pribrala som na váhe. I have. I don't know. I have put on weight. Vychovať, to bring up. Najbližší príbuzný, a distant relative. Next of kin. Všetko bolo hľadovateľe. Everything was icy. One was icy. Nemotorný, clumsy. Vzdialený príbuzný, a distant relative. Pozraj, žena s nadváhou. A overweight woman. White woman. I was right. Najbližší príbuzný, next of kin. And that's it, people. That's it, people, today. And yes, of course, you cannot learn a lot of English vocabulary in the one day because it's impossible. But you have to regularly do it, eh? Yes, yes, and you know, and now we can continue with reading my own fairy tales that are my own fairy tales. It's only my fiction, and we can start the oldest one, the heroes, and we can start reading right now. The heroes. It was a beautiful, big, fantasy country. The country had a very big forest. In that forest lived beautiful, nice, and good forest people. These people liked the forest and animals. This forest kingdom has a very good king who had very beautiful wife and a little beautiful daughter. This forest kingdom has an enemy. The enemy was a human kingdom that was very big and had a large professional army. The kingdom has a very bad king who was a bad black big dragon wizard who has very special magic powers. He liked evil. He was very dangerous and he likes gold. The citizens of his big human kingdom was very poor and they had to work on his fields and mines as slaves. They must give him their women to his bed. This my first fairy tale is for adults. Children, go away. We can continue. The dragon want to have more and more. The dragon want to have more and more gold and want to be the king of the forest kingdom. He has a special dragon's army that was his secret police. His dragon's army controlled everything in his country. One day he was so strong and he attacked the forest kingdom. The king was his slave and his beautiful wife had to be his friend with benefits. Our little girl was free because the good people from her kingdom helped her to escape. Our little girl went to the place where the big black dragon can't find her. She found a good female warrior who can use his sword very well, and she was the best with her bow. She has very special magic powers that she teaches our little girl. The little beautiful princess has very special magic powers too. Her teacher taught her everything. The little princess trained every day very hard. She wanted to have her kingdom back and want to save her people. She met a little boy from Dragon's kingdom. His parents were the right kings of the human kingdom. His parents were dragon slaves too. The little princess trained with the little girl. They both were the best friends. One day, they both were adults and their training was ended. They both organized a big army from the both kingdoms and they fought against the bad big dragon's army. The fight was very hard, but the good army with our heroes won the battle and they killed the bad dragon. Everyone was free I'm sorry people, but this is my first fairy tale in my life. And we can continue. The princess was very beautiful and the prince was very handsome. They loved each other and married. They both have many children and the big kingdom of forest and people was the best kingdom in the world where everyone was free and happy. The end. This is the oldest fairy tale and we can continue with the second. Wait a moment. Where is this? No. No, where is this? No. From zero to hero. This is my second, I think. Yes, it is. Ho. This is the second oldest fairy tale from me. People, are you still here? I hope. Are you here? And we can continue with my second fairy tale. From zero to hero, the first part. It was a beautiful country in that very rich people had a lot of money, fields and power. Every landlord had many fields and slaves who worked on his fields. In one big village, there's a very poor family who had to work for that landlord. That family was very poor but very good. The old man with his wife had 2 children. The couple had 1 girl and 1 boy. Their father wanted a better life for his children. The children were so good siblings. The boy's sister hated his brother and when she was an adult she went to the capital city of the empire to work. The little boy was alone with his parents at home. One day he was an adult. He went to a big city to learn to be a warrior. He had a very good teacher who liked his student. The young man trained every day and he can use his sword very well. The young man worked for his landlord as his warrior. His landlord liked him and he gave him his money, fields and his power as a gift. Our young man lived in a big empire where people were very poor and they were slaves. The richest people had power and the king was very old and had a very bad government. The government stole money from themselves and the empire was very poor. Wait a minute. The government stole money from not for themselves. I'm sorry. The government stole money I understand. I'm sorry, people, but this fairy tale I haven't been reading for ages. The government stole money for themselves, yes, of course, and the empire was very poor. Our hero had a lot of enemies. Everyone wanted to have his money. His parents, landlord, told the king that our hero stole his money and killed his warriors. The bad king stole everything the hero had, and the hero had to live in a little village as a slave. He fought for his landlord as a slave. The hero had a lot of friends who fought with him in the stadium. His friends were very good people and wanted to be free people. One night our hero with his friends went out from his landlord and killed him because he was a very bad man. He wanted to have a lot of money and women as friends with benefits. They changed their village and to a big castle in that people were free, and our hero was a great landlord who didn't want to work for the big empire. The second part. Our landlord Peter wanted to be with his parents and wanted to help him and his sister. He wanted to change this empire and wanted to kill bad people in that empire. One day with his army he went to the nearby forest to kill animals for dinner. He saw a very beautiful naked female elf warrior. Children go away. This is only for adult. He saw a very beautiful naked female elf, she-elf warrior. She had a bath in the river. She had very beautiful long black hairs, blue eyes, and a very beautiful face. She cleaned people. I don't know if I can. I have to change it because I don't know if I can read it in the stream. She cleaned herself with clean water. Her was no. Her attractive body was very beautiful, and our hero fell in love when she saw her. She saw him and wanted to kill him. Okay, it's only fiction. She was very scared, but our hero said, "Don't worry, beautiful lady. I don't want to kill you. I'm here with my army because I want to kill animals for my people." Yes, of course, for food. "What's your name, my lady?" "I'm a princess. My father is the king of this forest. Here live many elves. This is my home. I'm Lundriel, and you? I'm Peter. I'm the landlord. I'm everywhere in every fairy tale, but okay. My castle is near our forest, my lady." "What's your name, young landlord?" "I'm Peter. Nice to meet you." "Me too, a handsome landlord," and she smiled at him. Peter was very handsome young warrior, and she liked his body too. And she liked him too. Give me my clothes back." Here she was right. Our hero gave her clothes back, and they took the whole journey to her father's palace in the middle of the forest. They both fall in love with each other at the first sight. The landlord told her everything about his country, about his parents, his sister, and the big corruption in his country. People, it's only a fiction. Beautiful, attractive young elf princess Lundriel wanted to help him. The beautiful princess Lundriel and our landlord Peter were a beautiful couple. She was his girlfriend and he was her boyfriend. One day, she showed his boyfriend to her father and told him everything about him, his country, and his life. Her father, the old king, was a very strong man. His government was good, and every elf lived in the forest kingdom. Lived in the forest very good. He said, "I'll help you, young man. You can have my daughter for your wife if you show me that you are a good warrior. In our forest live very bad big green dragon. When you kill him, I'll help you, and my daughter with my kingdoms is yours. Do you agree?" "Yes, my lord, I agree." Lodriel didn't agree, and she went with his boyfriend to kill that bad dragon. The bad dragon lived in the end of the forest. Peter with Lundriel were near the dragon's place where he lives. In the night, Lundriel's sister Lucy came with his army, and her sister Lundriel was her slave, and our landlord Peter has to be her boyfriend. This is the end of the second part, and we can continue with the third part. People, are you still here? Don't sleep, please. Don't sleep. Don't sleep. I'm trying to speak English. I'm trying to read you my own fairy tales. My word, my rules. Okay. The third part. Lucy was Lundriel's sister. She was very beautiful, attractive, young, dark female elf or she elf. She has long dark brown hairs, beautiful face. She was very beautiful. She liked to show herself to every young man, and she had dark magic powers. She can have every handsome man for her boyfriend, but she wanted to have a friend. Yes, of course, she didn't want to have a boyfriend. She can use her beauty and powers to have every man who was handsome. She was jealous of her sister Lundriel because her sister was good, nice, and cute, and she was a dark, bad, beautiful young she-elf warrior witch who likes evil and blood. She loved the landlord Peter too when she saw him in palace of her father in the night when Peter was with Lundriel, of course. She came with her army and her sister Lundriel was her slave. She used her dark magic powers and her beauty to have Peter for her man. Peter didn't have any chance and he wanted to have Lucy for his wife. Lundriel helped very good female elf warrior Andrea. She is very pretty she-elf woman. She has long yellow hair, beautiful face, and she is very beautiful. She is very beautiful and attractive, gorgeous woman. She has magic powers too, but she was very good woman and very good Landriel's friend. She killed with her army Lucy's army, and Lucy was her slave. Peter with Lundriel were free, and the couple was kissing under the big tree near the bad dragon. The bad dragon came and wanted to help Lucy. Our heroes with the army killed the dragon and they came to the Lundriel father palace. The king was very happy. Thank you for your help, my kids. Peter, my son. My daughter Lundriel is your wife and my kingdom is yours. Thank you very much, my lord, said Peter. The couple was very happy and the couple has a big wedding. Every citizen of Elf Forest Empire came to the big wedding. After wedding, Peter and his wife Lundriel were the kings of the Elf Forest Empire. This is the fourth part. This isn't the end, of course. The king, Peter with his wife Lundriel, wanted to help Peter's parents and Peter's sister. The bad dark female elf Lucy went to the human empire. She wanted to have only Peter for her, because she loved him a lot. She helped the bad empire's government and prepared a big army for battle. The last battle was very dark, bad, a lot of warriors were killed, but the good Peter's and Lundriel's army won the battle and everyone was free. Lundriel didn't want to kill her sister Lucy, and she was free. Lucy changed her life and she was a good witch. The king, Peter and with Lundriel helped Lucy to be good witch, and she was the fourth queen. Lucy found a handsome man and Peter's parents lived with Peter in the big palace. Peter's sister changed her life too and she lived with young kings and everyone was happy. The end. Okay people, this is the end. And yes, of course, I have forgotten something because I want to tell you about ChatGPT. ChatGPT is an virtual intelligence app that you can find everywhere. It can be very good helper, very good English teacher, and very good friend. With that you can chat in English or any other language. ChatGPT has helped me a lot with creating this podcast with every option that was important for me. Thanks to ChatGPT, I created my at first I created my podcast. I found my free hosting. I created my website, my logo. I can recommend you. It's ChatGPT is really very good helper. It's safe and please don't listen to bad advertisement about ChatGPT because isn't true. ChatGPT was created for helping people. This is the you can ask ChatGPT what if you heard something bad about ChatGPT, but I can really recommend it that ChatGPT is a serious helper for you, and it's free. And it's free, people. I like ChatGPT. I talk with ChatGPT every day in English about learning English, about every topic, and about my podcast. I really want to recommend you ChatGPT, and you can find ChatGPT everywhere. What else? Please don't be scared from the new technology. You have to trust the new technology. And what else? Yes, of course, I can tell you about English podcast. I'm learning. I'm listening. What is podcast? Podcast is. I can tell you what is podcast. Podcast is I can tell you it's a radio show in English or a TV show that is on a podcast app. I discovered that English podcast world is very big. You can find English podcast about everything. I can really recommend you the listen English podcasts or audiobooks, because English podcasts are free, but audiobooks cost something. But if you don't want to pay something, you can listen English podcast for learners of English, because everything is about listening. You have to regularly listen to if you want to understand something. And yes, of course, I know very good podcast app that thanks to virtual intelligence can create transcript of every episode. And I don't want to tell you about it, because it can be an advertisement or commercial. No. But I can write you if you want. And what else? What else? What else? I think that's it, people. What else? For now, it's the end, I think, or not. And that's it, people, for my streaming. You can find my live special episode everywhere. Please follow me. You can write me if you want to be be a serious member of the community. That means you want to practice the speaking skills with me as my friend for me and when you be in the podcast, please write me. We can talk together in my podcast. And what else? Yes, of course, you can write me about everything, but please don't be rude. It's when somebody doesn't like my learning English, it's nobody. Please go away. No, it's my own business. No, nobody cannot care about my learning English. Learning English, it's my hobby. But if you want to be my friend, if you want to be my friend, a member of my Peter's English podcast community, write me. We can speak together. We can be in. Yes, of course. Write me if you in the case when you want to speak with me and you. In my podcast and we can record a new episodes. In that we can speak in English. This is my this is my dream to do some episodes. We'll see. And what else? I've been recording for 1 hour. I can stop it. Please follow me. Write me. Only if you are a serious member only when you want to be a serious member of the community, and in the case when you want to practice your speaking skills in English with me in my podcast, because I want to continue with my podcast, and I want to, because podcasting is my hobby, and I don't want to chat with somebody without recording. I want to do podcast, and I want to do my own podcast. And this is the end of the live special episode, and I want to tell you bye bye.